What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be reviewing the Weijiang Oversized Throttlebot Wideload. This is a KO of the Toyworld Throttlebot figures. This thing is gigantic. I don't know, it's a little out of scale. Well, not a little, it's a lot out of scale with Masterpiece. That's like my first impression here. So first of all, let's get these out. I literally took this out of the box, and unfortunately these, to get it at the cost I got it at, I think it was 35 bucks shipped from China. To get it at that cost, they ship it without the box. They still include instructions, which you got right here, and it actually says wide load on it, and so that's a little confusing to me, because here it says Weijiang Deformation Era, but then it's got the original name on it, so they're not even trying to change the name. But that's it. It comes with this and this, and it's all, it's bubble wrapped and put into styrofoam, and kind of poorly packed. It didn't break or anything, but it's not packed very well. Let's take a quick look, a comparison with maybe Masterpiece Optimus Prime. And just for comparison, here he is, and yeah, he's way too big. So this is like supposed to be a Hummer, or something like a Hummer, if you know what it is. I think it's like a Hummer, but it's just gigantic. It's oversized to the point where it's too big. Now that's only because in order to make the combiner, they had to have one of the main body of the figure, the torso, be a big figure. I am noticing the wheels don't want to spin; they get stuck. Well, this one's alright, but this one is pretty tight. I don't know if it's hitting. Yeah, it's hitting, so not great. So let's see if it rolls. This side rolls okay, not even good. This side doesn't roll at all. Now if I take it off, you can spin it, but it's getting stuck. So that's not great, but yeah, obviously way too big. I'm not even going to take out any other Masterpiece figures because it just doesn't make any sense. But when compared to its other figures here, here's the other, I think this was Searchlight figure. Even this, it's too big. It shouldn't be that. A Hummer is not that much bigger than an SUV. So yeah, this is oversized to the point of ridiculousness. But whatever. I guess it's in scale with the rest of the figures. A little bit of not so great transformation here. It kind of is popping apart. I'm guessing once I transform this guy, it's gonna be really hard to get him back to vehicle mode. So we'll get this guy out of here. So in terms of features, it is actually nicely detailed. It's got taillights here. They're a little wonky. This one's like a little crooked. It's got some paint back here. You've got some paint on the sides, a fuel door, some sort of like door, what do you call it? Door hinges there. You do have a gun on the top that does articulate. Also comes off. It's just a little gun. This is his handgun. So this is like an army vehicle more than anything. That's mostly what it looks like, and it's good. It also has articulating rear view mirrors. I would guess that these are going to break pretty easily, so you want to be careful with those. It does have a sunroof painted in here, some emergency lights up top. So yeah, it's painted nicely. It's just too big. It's also really heavy. This thing is pretty heavy. Actually, you know what? Let's weigh it. This comes in at this is 1 pound on 1.5 ounces. So freaking huge. That is a very, very heavy figure. I think that's almost the weight of those Masterpiece Voltron robots, or lions. Take a quick look at the size. You've got about 8 inches from front to back, a little bit longer. About 3.5 to the top of the roof, or about 4.5 to the top of the gun. So pretty big guy here. And again, it sort of rolls. If you had him on maybe a better surface than my backdrop here, it probably would roll a little better. But Not great at rolling, especially this wheel. I think it's just a matter of it, once it pushes up against the vehicle, it kind of gets stuck. Yeah. But that's it really for vehicle mode. I like it. It's good. For KO, it's $35, a little more expensive than these guys, which were like 15 shipped. This was 30. I think it was 35 shipped. So let's get this guy transferred to robot mode. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back from transforming. This guy is pretty clunky. He actually also came with this note here. And actually he had weird things stuck inside. So let me explain. So this note was taped to the top of the figure. And actually the tape kind of got, adhesive on that. I had to rub it off. It says, "This is a very difficult TF toy. Some parts have fragile stuckers." I don't know what stuckers are. "Be sure not to use much strength. Thanks." And then inside the figure, there were 2 pieces of paper that said "stucker" on them. I don't know what a stucker is. Maybe it means that it gets stuck. Obviously, something's lost in translation here. Some kind of Chinese, and I don't know. They weren't sure how to say it, but basically something about things getting stuck. But here is this guy. Here's Wideload, and he's pretty beefy. He's a big guy. Let's bring in one of the other guys. And here he is with his compadres here. He is way bigger than the rest of them. And that's fine. I guess he's the torso, so he's got to be big, but the instructions were actually pretty bad. Like, they're really hard to see, and there's not a lot of description. So I got to like about here, and apparently this is the end, but it doesn't tell you, because if you continue on, this is how to get it to torso mode. So you had to stop on 34. It doesn't say like complete, that's the robot mode. So it's really not good instructions at all, to be honest. I had to look at some images online of the original side load figure. But he's got some pretty cool articulation, so let's talk about that. So he has a soft ratcheted shoulder joint here. He does have a butterfly over here, but it's really more for transformation. He's got a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow. He doesn't have anything at the wrist. It's just, it does rotate, but there's really not much else. And that's about it for the arm. So you do have a nice waist swivel here. You get a heavy ratchet on the legs, and you get a double. So there's a ratchet inside here, which allows you to get some extra. If you leave them like that, you got a pretty wide A stance with this guy. But you can bend those, and then you get the regular stance. So it's sort of got double hinged hip joints, because you've got these inner ones and the outer ones. But it's ratcheted in and out, up and down. You get the full splits, and you get the full, and it's really tight, by the way, and you get the full split the other direction, or the full Monty, whatever you want to call it. By the way, shout out to Bobby Skullface using his full Monty and full Van Damme phrase here. This is a little weird. The back of the heels are kind of strange. I don't know, they're just a little weird. The figure doesn't want to like stand straight, so you sort of have to pose the heel and the toe together. But you do have a single jointed knee. Is it single jointed? It does bend pretty far. And you do have a thigh swivel. So these guys have all of the articulation you could want. They bend at every possible occasion. I think a lot of this is for the combined mode, so we'll see more of that in the fully combined mode. what I'm trying to see is in here, the thighs sort of, they're supposed to go back all the way, I believe. So in the knee, there's a little indentation. I think that's where it's supposed to sit. So that's how you know where you land. But I mean, you can get some pretty good poses for a big guy. He's not bad, you know. You could get, and there's a little bit of articulation in the ankles to get some interesting poses here. And again, this is pretty hard to pose. So you gotta take a little care. And the toe doesn't really want to articulate that easily. And then you can get the gun here. Now all it does is just fold out the handle like that. Stick that in the hand. Let's see if it actually fits. It does. And there you go. There's Wideload. Overall, this guy is not bad. He doesn't have any real like quality problems, but I guess I will say there's some weirdness to him. Like, and again, that's the original design. You know, this is a KO. It's a copy of the Toyworld version, but it looks good. I like it. It's just like the toes and the ankle rockers are just a little strange, and actually it's kind of tough to pose too. So I don't know exactly how you're supposed to do it. Maybe you take it out of the way, put it back like that or something. You can get heel spurs. Maybe you're supposed to get heel spurs. I don't know. It's weird for sure. I just don't think it's got a great design back there. But overall, oh, and by the way, this piece, this huge blue piece here is metal. It's just solid chunk of metal. So it's nice that they changed some of the parts to be metal. I think that really. Oh, by the way, I forgot this. The head is on a ball joint, but the neck also kind of moves, so you get a lot of motion. And it's not a bad head sculpt. It looks pretty cool. All of these guys have pretty good head sculpts, especially this guy. Goldbug is just perfect, but this one's not bad too. He looks like a big, mean, tough guy. But yeah, the fact that they put this whole piece is die cast is pretty nice. There's no other die cast on any of the other figures. This is the only die cast on any of the figures, but it's in the right spot. It's real solid. That's where you kind of want the strength. Is this thing kind of collapses together here. Actually, it come apart, but everything kind of collapses together right here, and so that's kind of what the die cast is holding together. But yeah, overall, I think these guys are really good. Get the chase figure in here. And I think they look good together. I mean, that's thanks to Toyworld. They're the ones that designed this. But the Oversized, Weijiang really did a good job on these guys. The only one I'm not really a huge fan of is Chase. He's just kind of loose and wiggly. This guy is pretty solid. Goldbug is solid. When I say solid, I mean like shaking, nothing moves. This guy's a little loose, and it's kind of hard to pose because of that. He's got some weird joints. I don't have this guy transformed, but we'll put him in here. But overall, this set, let's see. So let's get a total cost so far. These guys are 15, so 30, that's 60. And then this guy here was 35, so that's 95. And then we have the kit, which allows you to combine them all. And this is the head. I haven't combined it yet. I'm going to do another video fully combined and kind of show off the parts. This was, I believe, 40. Something like that, around 40 bucks. So altogether, roughly 130, 140 bucks for everything. Not bad for gigantic, masterpiece size combiner set. 130, 140 bucks. Now I don't get any boxes. This didn't come with any boxes at all. It did come with instructions for each figure, The set also comes with instructions. I'll go over that in my next video. And you do get stickers, and actually we should probably put the sticker on this guy. I don't know actually where it goes yet. We'll do that, but it is it's worth it. I think it's worth the set. The only one I'm not really big on is Chase, but the rest of them are solid, nice, chunky, beefy robots, and they do the job. So that's it, guys. Next video we're gonna do the fully combined mode of this, and we'll show off all the articulation, all the features, the gun. It comes with a nice, pretty nice gun. That will be a separate video. Unfortunately, I am out of time for today. I will probably apply this logo somewhere, wherever I can get it. It looks like it could go right there, but I don't think it's going to fit there. So I'm not sure where you're supposed to put this, to be honest. You could put it on his hood, maybe. Anyways, that's it. So please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time.